Welcome to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Main, awesome wife and dog mom for life. I'm a sex therapist turned sex coach, and I run a successful business selling relationship enhancement products. I absolutely love talking about all things sex. So you can expect this podcast to explore all things related to women's sexual health because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you discover and embrace what brings you pleasure so that you can own your sexual self. If that sounds good to you, then keep listening and let's fucking do this. Hello. All right. Welcome back to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast. Can you all believe that it is the 69th episode of Owning Your Sexual Self? Oh my gosh, can you believe that? 69 episodes. A year and a half of doing this. A year and a half of talking all things sex to you, having some amazing guests coming on. I can't believe. I'm literally taking this all in right now. So 69th episode, of course, what else are we going to be talking about other than 69ing? Your favorite sex position. I know, right? No, not really. I loved doing this poll the other day in my Insta story. So many of you had put in some great questions, such as like, how do I even get into 69ing? How do I not die from 69? How do I even enjoy 69? I like just receiving the head myself. I don't want to have to return the favor. I got some selfish girls out here. Let me just tell you. And yeah, also how do you not die? Like, how do you not choke? How do you not swallow that thing? And so I'm very excited because I think that one of the ways around this and answer to a lot of your questions that came in was to shed some light on the fact that there are different positions that you can be 69 in. It doesn't always have to be, if you're thinking of male, female, it doesn't always have to be that the male is on top hovering over you, right? I think that's probably the scariest position, especially for women listening to this, because you're just like, even for me personally, I'm like, I have no, like, the bed, the pillow is there, like, stopping my head. I have nowhere to go. There's no getaway for me. And for somebody also that experiences a lot of anxiety in situations that I am not in control of, 69ing with them on top is definitely on there. So yeah, all right. So let's dive into this, right? So 69ing, I hear you. I hear that for many of you, it's not your favorite position. It's something that you kind of steer clear from. And we're going to just talk about this. We're going to shed some light. We're going to have some laughter around this, right? There are some things that happened during 69 that, immediately we're all thinking it, but you're like, okay, how can I stop thinking about this right now? Like, how can I get myself into the moment? I don't want to be thinking about the fact that their asshole is right in front of me. Like, my nose is basically all up in there. My eyes are all seeing all the hair, all the things, like, right? Like, we've all been thinking these things, okay? So if you're not sure, first and foremost, what 69ing is, the very general way of me explaining what 69 is that it is mouth to genitals. All right. Your mouth to their genitals, their mouth to your genitals. So mouth to genitals at the same time. All right. So that is your easiest way of explaining it. So one of the questions that came in was how do you even get into it, right? Like how does one initiate 69ing? How can you get into it comfortably? What is that conversation like around 69ing? And I think that it's just something, honestly, that you just one of you needs to just take the leap and just say, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, do you want to try 69ing? Hey, I'm really enjoying this blowjob that you're giving me right now. Can you flip around so I can return the favor? Right? Has a partner ever said that to you? Or vice versa. I'm really enjoying you eating me out right now. Can we switch around and I would like to return the favor at the same time? Right? That's an easy way for you to kind of segue into it. Another thing I'll mention is a blindfold. If you are someone that is not incorporating a blindfold into the bedroom, blindfold is hands down one of my favorite bedroom accessories. First off, when you use a blindfold, you're literally taking away your sense of sight. You're heightening all of the other senses around you. So something like smell is more relevant to you. Something like touch and taste, all of these things you experience more intensely because you're taking away one of your senses. So I think that that is just super, super cool. So then, okay, so if you're the person that wrote in, like, how do you just get over the fact that you're literally all up in their ass, right? Like, yes, you're focusing on the penis or on the vulva, but depending on which position you're in, you're also getting just a face full of asshole. Okay, so I'm also so super excited that I switched over to this new platform to record this week because I'm going to start incorporating video into my podcasting. So all of my Instagram followers, and if you don't yet follow me on Instagram and you want to see some video, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know I'm a hand talker. I talk with my hands so much, and so I was like, after that. Menstrual cup review episode last week, I was like, I need to incorporate things. Like, I need to have video. And so here we go. So anyway, so I'm very excited for the reels that I have planned to go along with this episode. And again, the fact that I can share this on my IG story and you guys can see the action, see the live podcasting go on. So, all right. So where were we at? So how do you get into it? So I gave you some conversation starters and just some things, to think about. Like, again, I'm really enjoying this and I want to return the favor. And if you're the person that typed in, like, I just like receiving it and not having to give it back at the same time, I'm with you there too. I definitely have been on both sides of the spectrum, if you will. And there are just sometimes, I think, especially when we do get closer to orgasm, like, I'm trying to focus on what is happening to my vulva right now and what is going on with my clitoris, and I'm like getting there closer and closer and closer, and I'm trying to like give you head at the same time. Like, this is too much for my brain. I'm already thinking about 20,000 things. This is too much for my brain. I'm distracting myself. I'm trying to get my orgasm in. Like literally, if you're me, I'm like, okay, this is great. It's great until you get to that point. You're like, okay, I need to pause. Like, please remove your penis from my face for a moment. Let me get my orgasm in real quick, and then we can continue. Okay, then you can get yours, right? Because she comes first. Y'all know that. All right. So that is okay. Then somebody asked, like, eyes closed or eyes open. Again, if you're someone that's like, how the fuck do I get past the fact that their ass is right in my face? Close your eyes, right? You don't need to look at it. You don't need, I think we all know how to suck a dick, how to give some head, how to lick a clitoris. Well, I should. we hope that everybody knows what they're doing. But anyways, if you need to close your eyes, again, closing your eyes is another way to take away that sense of sight. So that can also help heighten your experience. But closing your eyes, there's no shame in that, right? Especially if you're in a 69 position, likely your partner can't even tell, depending which way you're in, they can't even tell if your eyes are open or closed anyways, right? So do what feels right for you. Eyes open, eyes closed, whatever you want. Okay. Now, same thing came up when we talk about finishing, right? Like, finishing in that position, like I was just sharing, it can be super awkward. And we've had this conversation before on the podcast. Sex in general is going to be super awkward, right? The noises that our body makes, the juices that our body produces, like, sex is going to be awkward. Your knees are going to be cracking, like, right? You're going to be like, oh, I have a Charlie horse, I have a strain in my back, like, we need to switch it up. Like, these are all normal things that are going to happen during sex, and especially in 69 positions. And I would say too, I'm curious what you all think, but I would say when you are experiencing 69 with somebody, and you're choosing to take that sexual relationship to that level, that's pretty intimate, right? Like, some people will say, like, kissing is super intimate. Some people will say, if I experience anal or let my partner experience anal, that's a super intimate thing. Like, that's the holy grail of intimacy, right? I think 69ing is pretty high up there, honestly. And I'm betting that most of you agree with me, because in doing this, and when talking to women and doing this research to produce this episode, there are so many women that have never done 69 before. Never. Literally, they're truly scared. And again, a lot of that fear and anxiety is coming around choking, literally choking on a dick. Death by choking on a dick. Like, can you imagine? I mean, if I'm gonna go out in this world, like, I would like for it to be maybe due to sex. I don't know. I'm going out strong. I'm going out with pleasure. You'd hope, but yeah, there are things that you can do to avoid that fear if you're listening and that's your fear. So if you okay, so also before going into this, I say this makes me laugh so much, but like having a safe word or having a code word if you need to, because sometimes when you're 69ing, depending on the position, like it can be really hard to breathe. Again, if you're the person that's on the bottom and somebody is hovering over top of you, let's say you're the person, you're literally sitting on somebody's face, right? Like they might need a moment to breathe. So, and same for you. So if you you want to incorporate again a code word, if you have that conversation before, like okay, if we pull back, like we're gonna take a break. Or if you need to take a break, right? If you need to take a break from that sucking or anything, there are other things that you can do to still keep that sexy going that doesn't so much involve like the actual act of continuing to give head. So honor those moments. Also, if you need to incorporate like tap twice, tap twice is like coming up for air, like a double tap or a quick tap, like that's coming up for air. Need to come up for air. So this is again, these are things that you can talk about beforehand. I love surprising my husband. You know, we're just sitting there watching TV, and I'm like, so what do you think about this? Like, so what do you think? Like the next time we try this, we do this, and it's I feel like I always catch him off his game, but he's always like, okay, like he's literally such a good sport. Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right. So now here is, all right, let's go over these different positions, honestly, because I think that this is, again, going to be so helpful for many of you. So we've already, I mean, the cat is out of the bag in the one position that definitely scares a lot of women, or not necessarily women, but definitely scares the person that is on the bottom where the penis is literally going into your mouth like this, okay? So if we have, let's see, so my fingers will be the head. My fingers will be the head, and then the end of my hand will be the feet. Okay, so head, feet. All right, so head, feet down here. Okay, so if you're like this, all right, and your person, not feet, genitals. All right, so if you're up here, let's say you're the person laying flat on the bed, and your partner owns a penis, and they are hovering over you, and they are kind of like doing one of these, right? Like they're pumping that penis inside of your mouth. I 100% hear you. That can be scary. Again, the bed, pillow, everything is behind you. So there is only like a side to side sort of thing, because if you go up, right, you're just inserting that penis further into your mouth. And that's the scary part for a lot of us. So if I would say this position is probably the most advanced of your 69 positions. Like this is the most risky, if you will. Okay. Now, let's say, I'm keeping my hands the same. Let's say that this is the female is on top. Okay, so this person is laying flat on their back, and now female is on top. And like I said, they're sitting on somebody's face to get that stimulation, to get their pleasure, basically. Now, with that, first off, to whoever is the person that is on top hovering, kudos to you, because that is an extreme core workout. All right. And sometimes if you're vulva owner and you're on top, we know like we need to be relaxed. We need a lot of things to be happening for us to be achieving an orgasm. So it might not be ideal for either of you to go with either of those positions, the somebody's on top and somebody's on the bottom, the hovering sort of thing. But again, with that, I'm wondering, curious, like any male listeners, like, do you all have the fear that, you know, somebody's going to sit on your face and you're going to literally suffocate, right? Like that might be a fear that some people have. Again, I think that a lot of men that I ask that to, they're probably like, yeah, if I'm going to die, like, please let me die because a like hot ass woman is sitting on my face. Like, I'm sign me up to go out like that, right? But there are definitely different ways of doing this, okay? So one of our favorite ways is actually to be side to side. So kind of like you're in a spooning position. All right, now that when you're same thing, so you're still mouth to genitals, but you guys are you're both spooning. I think that you almost look like the yin and yang sort of like symbol, if you can picture that. But when you're on your side, that allows for so much more flexibility. If you get a leg cramp, you can stretch out and still keep that there. They can stretch out. You can turn your head to side. You can back up if you need to. You can get more up in there if you need to. You can also position yourself to where you're not so much nose into ass, if you will, when you're in a side position. So there are, if you're skeptical of trying 69 or you're wanting to try 69, I would say to try on your side first and foremost. All right. Now, Those are going to be the 3 positions I think that I would recommend. Again, so side is going to be your first. I think female hovering over top is the second, and then male hovering over the top is the third. Although any gendered couple can do 69. Again, it's just mouth to genitals. It does not matter what gender you are for your mouth and what gender you are for the penis, okay, or vulva. All right. So this is a super intimate thing to be doing with somebody, right? This is super vulnerable, and I just want to honor that for anybody that's listening that is still just like, but what if I die? Right? So using that blindfold, again, getting a code word or like a signal, if you will, so it's some sort of like tap for air, and thinking like, if you are wondering how you can do this without choking, let's say, especially if there is a person with penis that's over top of you, there was a technique that I heard on another podcast, and they talked about basically doing like a sword swallow. So we've all seen somebody, I'm sure, if not YouTube it, but we've all seen somebody literally try to like do the thing where they like, and they're like swallowing a sword. Essentially, you can try, you want to aim to sort of do that same technique when you're 69ing, especially if you're someone that is fearful of gagging or choking. So try to practice that technique. Again, in the 69 position, you have access to your hands mostly. All right, so incorporating a little rubbing, maybe a rubbing around the inner thighs, maybe a little perineum stimulation, maybe a little come here motion inside the vagina if you need to do that. There's so many different things that you can incorporate. And again, if you need to take that break, right? So like, let's say I'm doing my thing, right? I'm sucking the dick and I'm like, all right, I need to take a break. Great. I'm going to take a break. I'm backing up. I'm going to do some rubbing. I'm going to use my hands a little bit. I'm going to do some licking up and down, right? Like give myself a moment, but still keep my sexy going, right? And they're going to be like, oh, wow, what are you changing it up on me, right? Where'd you learn that? I love when my husband says that. All right. So, then, okay, toys. Toys are another huge part of this. I think sometimes we think like if we're 69, we can't use toys, but you can 100% use toys. And I know so many people that find success in this. Again, if you're on that spooning position, maybe this is a good time for you to incorporate using an anal toy. Spooning position is recommended, actually, in my opinion, for comfortable anal play. So inserting an anal toy, maybe you have something underneath the perineum, right underneath the balls to give them some stimulation. Maybe they have something, some sort of vaginal stimulation for you, a little wand or something like that they're giving you vaginal stimulation while they are 100% focusing on the clitoris. Again, maybe they're taking a break and using hand play or using a toy to give themselves that time to breathe, and they're still keeping it sexy, right, by using a toy too. So there are, that was a huge question. What do I do so I don't swallow, choke, or die? That was a very real concern that came up for so many people. So I hope I did a good job of kind of touching the basis on all that. But I got asked, like, what do I do with the balls? Like, they're just there. But do I touch them? Do I hold them? Just caress them? What do I do? And the answer is yes. Yes to all of those things. Do what you want or don't do what you want, right? Like, they're there for pleasure if you want. I think that if you give them a little focus and a little touching, a little juggling, rubbing, licking, sucking, whatever you want, that's only going to enhance or intensify the experience for the person that's receiving it. But if you also decide not to do those things, that's okay too, right? Try it. If you don't like it, don't do it, right? But I'm always saying, like, try it once, see how it goes. You never know. So there's different positions to your 69, and that's the important part for you to know. There are definitely different positions for you to try that are going to steer you away from that fear of dying. So try it on your side. I'd love for you guys to message in and let me know how that goes. Again, eyes open, eyes closed, whatever you want. But I'll say 69ing is, again, very intimate, something that you can definitely try with your partner if you're wanting to do that, having those conversations beforehand. And again, having the conversations beforehand to incorporate code words or signals or anything like that, taking breaks when you need to still keep things sexy, and especially taking a break if it's your time to achieve that orgasm, and then keep going if you want to keep going. I also find that 69 can be a great tool for foreplay. So a lot of couples will 69 before having some sort of penetrative sex. And then there are some couples that I will ask that they would say that 69ing is sex. Like if they're both finishing, sex for a lot of couples is somebody's achieving an orgasm. That is sex. It doesn't necessarily have to mean something was inserted into a vagina or an anus or anything like that. There's so many definitions of what sex actually is. So for you, 69 might be sex. And if that's enjoyable to you, keep on doing the damn thing. All right. So I hope this was helpful for y'all. If you have any questions about 69, please let me know. But definitely, again, if you haven't yet tried it, if you're scared of trying it, try it on the side. Message me, DM me, slide up in my DMs. Let me know how it goes. All right. I'd love to hear what you took from this episode. And if there are any further questions, you know where to find me. All right. Cheers to the 69th episode of Owning Your Sexual Self. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a thing. And if you loved it so fucking much, be sure to leave a 5-star review. I'll see you next week, and until then, keep owning your sexual self.